Okay, so black women, I needed to expand on the video that I was piggybacking off of Christina. This is the deal, right? We as black women, we know way too often, right, that society on a whole, they like to copy what black people do. The women want to emulate and steal from black women to make themselves feel like more of a woman. Same thing is true for especially white men who are normally corny and do not have sense of self, right? They have brutality and savagery down packed and indifference to the suffering of other people. And they also have down packed the ability to brainwash masses of people into anti-blackness. So we get that. So when you see on TikTok, when I've seen this recently start to emerge a lot, you have these white males who are on here reiterating and parroting every talking point a black male has about black women, but now contributing it to women on a whole collectively. Like, there was a white dude on Christina's live today that said, they say these main phrases: it goes both ways, women do it too. Yes, but that's not all men. There's some good men out there, and if it's black males, they'll say good black men, when that is not true. Because if there were good black men or black males or men, period, they would be rallying and pushing back against the injustice, the inequality, and the inhumanity of black women, black girls, other women, and other girls. And I don't mean just here in America. I mean all over the fucking world, okay? So that is a fallacy. And I need all of the women who are struggling with mediocrity and who are still on the fence of feeling like all of the things that were indoctrinated into you as a child, where you were taught the fairy tales and you believe them, and you really still think that unicorn is out there, Prince Charming is on his way, and who have been brainwashed by the black women and black males who are on here exploiting women for money, like the Shira Sevens and all of them that tell you there is a multitude of rich men out there waiting for you just because you're young. They like to have sex with children, and that you're hot and you should be focused on money. They disguise trying to teach you how to profit from somebody else's hard work by selling yourself under disguise of saying that it is about money. When if it was really about that person teaching you about finances or money, she would be teaching you about what jobs pay the most, how to get them, how to invest your money, all of the different ways to build money in the banks and every other regulated legal system in this country. Not by fucking somebody to get something from them. Okay? And I don't mean that in the form of prostitution. I mean that in the form of transaction. Okay? Because everything with males is transactional. Their brains only think on one wave. What's in it for me? Okay? So, but the point Christina was making today actually hit home even with me, because being a woman who does not give a fuck at all about black males or men, period, I see no purpose for them when it comes to having a family, raising children, none at all. I see them basically as a part of society, and a part of society that I do not have any interaction with, nor do I intend to interact with, because of the violence, because that you have male lawmakers that always make laws to benefit the savagery and the criminality of these dudes, blame the victim, and serve children up to these predatory motherfuckers as a rites of passage through laws that they create in this country, like lowering the age of marriage, allowing black male traffickers to get away with some of the worst and most horrible atrocities against little black girls just because they're black girls. It's sick. And it has been time for black women to understand that if you are not your own media, the way Christina said, you do not scream the loudest for your own causes, for your own hell, for the fact that your teenage girls are not safe in their own homes when their mothers have husbands, boyfriends, or male relatives come in and out of those homes or apartments, you need to think about that severely, and you need to take action about that. Right now, there is a young lady on TikTok explaining how she has to actually leave her home because of her mother's male companion she has in the home who has been trying to rape this girl. And we women who have survived those things as children, because I'm one of them, we understand just how toxic those households are, right? But these are the things we have to stand up and fight out against so that other little black girls do not live those things we live through. And it's real simple. We have to start normalizing teaching our teenage girls and younger girls. When somebody touches your body, asks you to perform fellatio on them, or texts that to you or speaks about that to you, you are to tell everybody you can. Your mama, your teacher, your social worker, the neighbor, the doctor you go to. You tell every mandated reporter about the child abuse that is happening to you so that people are aware of it, to quickly help get that problematic adult black male out of your home and out of your life. You have to normalize that. Young black girls who live in households with mamas who put men before their children, do not be afraid to be vocal and be your own warrior for your own life's navigation and trajectory in this world. When somebody wrongs you, you speak out about that loudly and strongly. There are many places out here for you to be. If you cannot stay safely in a foster home, you can literally go to the judge and ask to be emancipated if you are of a certain age and be put into independent care. You must read. You must be educated. You must learn to know your rights. Whenever you want to learn anything about protection of children, you read social service law for the state you live in. I live in New York, so I would read on Google social services law of New York for anything that I need to know about children and the protection of children. Then you also read the domestic violence law of that state. Okay? And you also read the Department of Social Service law for that state. That way you know all the laws there are to protect yourself and to fight back against parents who want to, women parents, mothers who want to allow boyfriends, family members, and husbands and stepfathers to sexually violate little girls in their home. Do not stand for it. You do not have to. Black women in organizations, fraternities, sororities, everyday law-abiding citizens, write to your senators, write to your Congress people that you want the law that was already proposed on the floor to have parents who are aware of children being sexually violated in the home to go to jail at the exact or more sentence of the fucking offender, the predator. You have to let your voices be heard. You gotta stop being silent. We're doing a lot to speak about things online, but you have to have action behind that too when it comes to black women and girls. We don't have to get involved in what's going on in the world with other people, with immigration and etc. But when it comes to protecting ourselves and our girls, you're going to have to get up off your ass, start writing letters, making phone calls and emails to explain to them that we mean business about what we want. And if you don't begin to give it to us, when it is your turn as an elected official, we will vote your ass out of office and never put you back in. So we need people in office who are going to start changing this patriarchy bullshit and start switching this around to a full democracy. Because in life, any country that does not give full freedom to everyone eventually will have freedom for no one. Believe that, black women and girls. Feel it and live it every day. Fight for your fucking rights. Stop worrying about your sons, your husbands, and any male related to you. You fight for the rights of black women and girls so this country can see a better future, a better tomorrow, where it actually is the land of liberty. Because right now it's bullshit. and full with nothing but hatred and racial division by white men who want to control everything because they're that weak outside of the protections they write into law for themselves. Stand up. Continue to speak out. Take action. If you can't get a representative to do what you need, go online, use AI to find out how to run for local office. Start there. Start with the council, your council in your city. Then maybe mayor, senator, congressman. Get involved if you don't have anybody to speak up for you. Where I live in Queens, everybody here is involved in doing that. It happens all the time. I was getting ready to reach for a flyer to show y'all. I don't see it firsthand at sight. Let me see if I could get it. 1 second. This is what I'm talking about. This lady right here, she's running for office. Okay? You could do the same. You have to start representing people and electing people that look like you, that care about you and your little girls. And you got to stop doing the default of being brainwashed into white supremacy and assimilating into whiteness by voting for the first white male or white woman you see. They never have your best interest at heart. If you want this country to change, you got to put in the change and put the people in place to make change. Jasmine Crockett should not be the only warrior out there. There should be tons of them, of all races of people, fighting for everybody the same way she is. Black women, you do what you're supposed to do as well. The violence in our communities continues because of your participation. It continues with simple things like subscribing to black males on YouTube and TikTok who are black women bashing, who are always trying to talk about how black women need to do better. Unsubscribe, block and delete, violate their channels, send the links of their channels to the FBI, FBI.org. There is a form on there you fill out. I think it's C1-3 or C3 form. Fill it out. It speaks about the discriminatory actions or predatory actions of individuals online, violence and hatred towards people. Fill this shit out, send it to the FBI, let them do their job. Let them investigate those videos and those people to see if those people pose a threat to America and, most importantly, to black women and girls. If they see them as a domestic terrorist, they will go after them. That is how you get rid of this shit in our community and how you change America slowly. Get to work, black women and girls. All it takes is a phone call, an email, writing a letter, and opening up your mouth and speaking boldly, loudly, and truthfully. And do not back down.